feed out. No, that's next week. No, that's it. I'm ready, Daryl.
Real life.
Yes, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Amsterdam Talk Season 3, Episode 15. Today I bring into, the Amsterdam Talk to the podcast, the founder and host of the Real Talk Women's Show, Miss Gemma. How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much, Rod, for having me today.
Okay, so before we start, like you're the founder and host of the Real Talk Real Women Show. What does that show consist of?
Yes, the entire name of the show is Real Talk, Real Women, Breaking the Silence Around Abuse.
Okay.
And the mission of this show is to inspire victims hiding in plain sight to recognize the abuse, to break free from it, to claim their identity and their power back, and
Mm-hmm.
to free themselves from any situation it may be. And when we talk about abuse, we talk about all the range from self abuse with all
Right.
those chatterbox that goes in our head and just like trash talk us alone without any help, all the way to domestic violence, where
Mm,
you really have no chance to be yourself or to exist except for the help and the entertainment of some other people. And the reason why I founded that specific show with that specific mission at
mm-hmm.
heart is because I am victorious over 15 years of domestic violence,
Right.
beaten, put down, raped, almost killed twice by strangulation. It was two different stories. One time 5 years, one time 10 years. And when you start over the same relationship, same kind of relationship, it really feels that there is no way out.
Mm-hmm.
And because you feel that there is no way out, I ended up losing hope.
And this
And
is when you told me about like your ex-husband, right?
exactly. And when you lose hope, then death becomes very appealing. Then suicide becomes a more than an ideation. It becomes like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, that is my only exit because I tried to leave many times over. I reported him. I got the help of the police. And however, I'm still back home where I don't want to be. So let me check out. And when I decided that after 15 years, I heard the voice of God.
Okay.
And that voice told me when I was opening up the window of the 10th floor of the apartment building to jump, that was my plan.
Mm,
And that voice told me in the sweetest and most loving way, of course you can jump. It's going to work. But I'm going to give you the same life in worse. Is that really what you want? You can imagine my answer. No!
so you were willing to just end it all and just jump from the 10th floor?
That was my plan. And as soon as that idea popped up to mind at a such a low level and an exhaustion level and a beyond no return point as I was going to open the window and jump and done. Finished.
Mm,
And then when I answered no to that voice, even though there was no physical body to talk, this is
right.
why I say it's God. And the voice told me, okay, so leave by the door. So when you think about that, Rod,
Right.
you need to understand why I say it's God. I have no proof, of course, but a sweet, soft, loving voice as lovable as no other voice. First of all, a
Mm-hmm.
voice that makes me feel good, does not scare me whatsoever.
Right.
Is a first element. And then from within, looking down with me, telling me, of course you can jump. It's going to work. Now, if you imagine it would be the devil or anything or other talking to me, it would say like, yeah, you would never do. Absolutely not. You are way too weak to do so. Or something to nag me, But
Right.
no, not at all. It's an acknowledgement. Yes, indeed, one of the multiple possibility is to end it all here. Yeah, of course you can
So,
jump. It's going to
okay,
work. So
you
this
got
is
to
really
that.
what I heard.
Okay, you got to that point. So you open the window, 10 stories up. You hear this voice. But what made you stay 15 years with all this abuse that you were dealing with?
So what I discovered, because all of that is 10 years ago. So the last 10 years I spent healing, transforming, understanding, asking that kind of question. I can guarantee you the self-loathing because I stayed
Right.
a long way. Now, to really explain what happens, as long as you do not have hope and a vision for yourself that is better than the situation you are in, it feels like the situation you are in is the evil you know is the best evil you want to go with. You
Right.
think when you are in that situation, your thought is that outside, beyond that home that is just awful, it is hell on earth. It's even worse. You think you're going to die if you leave. This is how you think when
Right.
you are in it, when you have that victim mentality who is protecting her abuser. This is how you think. You see that
Hmm.
the way you're out is worse. So you stay because at least you have your beds that you have your things that you have your routines that you have your awful fights that you know how exactly how it's going to go, you know how it blows up, you know how it comes down, you know how it becomes all rosy afterward, you know it all. You are
Right.
not scared to go through that. It's normal life, it's routine. You do not even ask yourself until one point when it becomes too much. And
Okay. So
this
you
is
heard, yeah. Okay. So the voice took you off instead of you didn't jump off the ledge out the window. So you walked out the door. And where did you go when you left out the door?
so first of all, that door, that night at 1:30 a.m. on June 15, 2013, when I left, the door for the
Okay.
very unique time opened softly and silently, let me go, and closed softly and silently. That is divinely guided. I have never
Okay.
been homeless. I have never been without a meal. I have never been without almost clean clothes on my back. I have never been in danger outside, even
Hmm.
though it was the middle of the night. And as a woman, you don't go outside at night. Well, that night I did. And I saw a few weird people that you don't want to encounter under the effect of alcohol or other drugs. And I just avoided them and continued, you know? So,
Right.
where did I go? I suddenly remembered when I was running outside. I had no plan. And suddenly I remembered the guy, a good man I met 2 weeks prior. He just lost his mother to suicide by jumping from the seventh floor of their apartment building. So less
Wow.
than 2 weeks prior, I was around him, holding his hand and supporting him through the loss of his mother, who was completely mentally unstable, but still, it is a traumatic event for
Mm.
those who stay. And I knew it. I thought back about him and I thought, well, you have no family left. Maybe I could walk to your home and
Hmm.
maybe I can crash on your couch for 1 or 2 nights. It's a time to figure out the next step because I honestly don't know what to
Right.
do, where to go. I have no plan. I took no money, no ID, no phone, no device, nothing. I took nothing with me when I left.
Okay.
Nothing. Not even a watch. Not even my
Hmm.
glasses.
So you just left everything in that apartment on 10th floor.
Exactly. And done.
Right.
Boom. Bye.
So the guy, mother who had suicide, is this is who you're married to now, correct?
Yes.
Right. Okay. I thought that
Yes.
was okay. So, all of that has happened. And so all the toxic relationship that you in, so you were empowering yourself back from being abused. So basically he was going through one thing and you're going through another. So basically you were both each other's healing process, I'm guessing.
Yes. Well, he has been the biggest supporter in my healing journey. Still to this day, he's asking me, how can I best support you, sweetheart? Still to this day, we are 10 years later now. Still
Okay.
to this day, he's loving, adorable, patient. Still to this day. I can guarantee you, I had to learn how to be okay in a relationship where everything is great, where
Right.
there is no fight, where there is no argument. I was really, really weird at the beginning. So much expecting the next fight, so much expecting the next time is going to blow up or anything. An anger burst or a hissy fit, something. Nothing. It's like, are you normal?
Hmm.
I really had to relearn how to live and how to love and how to allow him to love me. I didn't know how being loved felt like.
Right.
I didn't know how being respected felt like. You know, at the beginning, the first week when we decided to be together, he was on a trip in the United States when we were still living in Switzerland.
Hmm.
And when we decided that we were going to change our relationship from friends to a love couple a few months after all of that happened,
Right.
he came back with full of gifts, everything with a heart shape, the
Hmm.
most gorgeous things he could find. So I find myself with, I don't know, 20 gifts. I
Okay.
have never even received one. And I'm so uncomfortable receiving all of that, not knowing how to receive that.
So
So
out of your 15 years, you've never received one gift?
not, no, no, no.
Wow, that's
The
amazing.
only thing I could have received was one day, oh, you need a new outfit, so here is an outfit. Sure, let's go
Okay.
choose an outfit for you. But what I saw doing is my ex husband purchasing a gorgeous watch for one of his mistress that I knew,
Oh,
or to purchase and to make her deliver gorgeous flowers. I saw that.
right.
I was not worth that for him. I was already there. It was good. And I was already in love. Yeah, sure. Think again.
Hmm.
Think again.
So when women come on Real Talk, Real Women show, so they're coming to you with their issues as well, like how they've been portrayed and abused as well, telling you their stories.
So, no, what we do is that on my show, the women who are interviewed are strong, powerful, visionary women who have prevailed over their form of abuse, their own
Okay.
story. They have prevailed, they have healed already. And they
Okay.
are now blazing their trail successfully, helping others on their journey, business owner of some sort. They are helping. They are giving forward the gifts that they received: life, love, hope.
Okay.
And what we do is that we go over their story of what kind of abuse they did overcome. What was that shift moment? I just told you my shift moment when I heard the voice of God. That's the biggest shift.
Right.
And then how they help others. And that is a typical episode we run.
Right.
So that victims hiding in plain sight who are listening to those episodes may gather hope, inspiration. They can see themselves. They can, because hope and vision, inspiration, this is what I was missing at that moment in time. And I realized that the best way to reach out to the heart of those who do not tell you they have a problem
Right.
is to open up first, is to provide content with our stories. This is what we can do to reach out to those who are hurting in silence, who are burning in hell, still alive, not really knowing how, and hoping for a better day and sometimes not hoping anymore. However, browsing on their phone and finding the show.
Okay. So, like, you have these individuals that actually just stay together for a long time, I guess, because they become comfortable. I mean, and everything is already, toxic and things of that. So you're just around with each other. Like, how do you decide to disperse and just say, I got to leave the situation? How do you do it?
It's the hardest thing to do, honestly. It's the hardest thing to do because you are so routinely engaged in that same life
Right.
that leaving is not even an option in
So
your
you
mind.
just become comfortable with it?
So I call that my uncomfortable comfort, but it is mine.
Uncomfortable comfort.
Yeah, it is my uncomfortable comfort, but it is mine. So it is the
Okay.
one I know. This is how I can stay that long in a toxic relationship. So how
Right.
to break free from that? It starts with a vision. It starts with an idea. It starts with dreaming for something more. It starts by yearning for something more,
Okay.
hoping for one day finding true love. For 1 year, actually 13 months, I dreamed about real love. How would that be? I fantasized about real love.
Mm.
And after 13 months, still going on through all this routine hell, but dreaming another life. And when you do that, it just put in motion the laws of the universe. But I didn't know that. I just did it spontaneously. But what you do actually is that you create a new reality that must come to pass. So what
Okay.
can you do first when you are in there is to dream another life for yourself. And dream it
Okay.
long enough and saturate your subconscious mind enough with this perfect ideal life that it has no other choice than to show up. It can be a little bit scary. The transition is the scariest of all. But the truth is that the reality of it is much less painful than the idea of it. The idea of it is so scary because it is unknown. But the reality of it is that you are safe, you are loved, you matter. That is the reality of it.
So you actually creating this fantasy and turning it into a reality. So you're creating your actual escape plan, I'm guessing.
Not an escape plan, but another life when escape has happened. Because the escape is created not by you,
Okay.
but
Cool. So
suddenly it
who's
shows
the
up.
escape created by then?
See it again?
So who? If you're not creating the escape, who's created the escape then? If you didn't create it,
You know, when you understand how quantum physics works, how the subconscious mind and how all our subconscious mind are connected as one master mind,
okay.
every living being. When you understand that, then it becomes obvious. You dream the end goal, living in love, in a safe home, happy, fulfilled. You dream that. And because you dream that enough, your subconscious mind starts to look for options and
Right.
ways to make it happen. And I told you, I left quite a few times before the last one. I left for real, but a few hours later, guilt brought me back.
So how do you fight that urge right there? Because you left and then you start feeling guilty that you left. How do you fight that?
This time, when I left, I also had that gigantic guilt and
Hmm.
fear and shame. That those feelings are monumental. I doubted myself if I did the right thing for a long, long while, for a few months after I left,
Right.
almost every day. And everybody around me to whom I told, yeah, I'm really not sure I did the right thing by leaving. They all told me, oh, you will be so happy when you will get over that moment because this is just a moment. Stay out, do not go back and build back your life because you're so worth it. And I was hearing that like, yeah, me worth it? Are you kidding me? Because of all the lack of self-love, self-esteem, self-confidence, none of that. When you are crushed under domestic violence, under abuse, you lose your identity. You don't know what you like for yourself. You don't
Hmm.
know how it is. You don't know how it goes.
Okay. So
What
no,
is
no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
what is your experience in terms of mental health or abuse or anything like that? What do you know from your own experience about that?
Well, I've never been abused. I've never been abused before in a relationship, so um, I wouldn't say I know too much about it. But just on the outside looking in, I do see how it can actually damage a person. Where though you start having self esteem issues, you have identity crisis in itself, and you start to lose who you are as a person. And they say that actually communication is the key, but you can actually talk to a person to figure it out as far as like, okay, this is what you're doing. But sometimes people just talk and they don't listen, and it's just 100%, 100%. And as you just stated, they don't decide to listen until you decide that you actually are going to leave. And then once you decide that you're going to leave, you second guess yourself because that person may decide, I'm just going to throw a random number out for 30 days to, try to change. And it never happens. I mean, people are who they are. Um, and we as human beings, we actually sometimes just dismiss the red flags at certain points and just say, no, this can't happen again. Because I feel like if you do it one time, you're capable of actually doing it again. So unless you truly change behavior. But change behavior only occurs when there's action, no words. Words don't change behavior, actions change behavior. So that's where I see it at.
Fascinating. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. That's important
Right.
because
And
this explains what is your perspective when you ask me questions to try to understand what is going on in your mind when you are experiencing through all of that.
right,
From the
right.
outside looking in, like what's going on?
Yeah, but I mean also as far as like today's in itself, I mean with society and social media in itself, being in these abusive and toxic relationships, that seems like becomes the norm now. And it's like it's cool. It's like, yeah, it's cool for me to be mentally abused or physically abused because I'm watching it on TV as far as like these reality shows, or I'm watching it through some type of genre, and it's like this is normal. It's not normal. It's not normal, so it's just like, but people normalize it now. So like, no, it's not normal. If you feel that way, you should actually get out, seek help, or whatever you need to do. Because at the end of the day, you got to choose yourself first. That's all I would say about that.
That is good. At the end of the day, there is no one else than you. At the end of
Right.
the day, you are facing the world from your own vantage point. And if you like it, stay it. If you do not like what you see and what you are and what you feel around you, you change your vantage point, you change your
Mhm.
perspective, you change yourself. And when you do that, the entire world changes for you because it's only a perception. The world is actually a projection screen of what's going on inside of you.
Right.
This is why when you live under domestic violence,
Mm-hmm.
your projection screen is that the entire world is hell and the only thing that is okay is my little house, even though it's absolutely not okay. But you project outside what's going on inside, and as inside is hell,
Mm-hmm.
well, outside is hell. It's just logical. So when you can actually accept that you have nothing to lose, because you already lost you, so you have nothing more to lose.
Right.
Try, give it a try. I honestly, when I followed that prompt from the voice of God that told me leave by the door as an answer to my rebuttal of having the same life in worse, I'm done already. It's okay. I got it. But when I was really living, my thoughts were, I'm just going to postpone my suicide and give it a try. But I have no idea how that could go. Anyway, I have nothing to lose. I'm going to die anyway. So let's give it a try.
Right.
So actually, when you are not afraid of death anymore, you become unstoppable because you dare to try the most insane things, such as living a domestic violence situation. But
Right.
objectively, having a vision, having a dream, imagining your life how that could be if there was no violence, if there was love. How would love feel like? That is the very first step out. Imagining a good life.
Well, that's the thing. You gotta let love win.
Yeah,
You gotta let it win. You gotta let it win. Let it in. I mean,
exactly.
but some people choose not to because they like, confusion. And I don't enjoy confusion, but some people love it. Like, chaotic. If it's chaotic, they want to do it. Like, I don't understand that.
I do understand one thing. When people choose confusion, it's because they are so confused inside of them that the only projection screen outside in their world that they accept is exactly what they are, confused. And they cannot go with something that is harmonious, that is
Right.
respectful, loving, because it's contrary to how they feel they are inside. And everybody can only manifest what they are, not what they want.
Right.
So this is why I talk about dreaming for long enough, daydreaming for long enough, so that your beingness has actually changed and cannot stand being where you are anymore because your beingness, your I am,
Right.
has become I am living in a loving relationship. I have to get out of here. It does not match anymore. I'm out. You know,
Yeah.
this is
I,
how it works. This is why some people may choose confusion.
right.
So if those people heal, they will not feel choose confusion anymore.
Right.
As long as they choose confusion, that means that they are confused. And they
Yeah.
choose something that is similar to them.
Mm.
This is how I understand it.
Yeah. So you have to understand it. You have to understand it that way. Um, like you said, like you said, probably like 3 minutes ago, when you're not afraid of death, you become powerful now because it's like I've seen it all. If it's my time, it's my time. Let me go.
Exactly.
So that's just how it goes,
Hmm.
and we go from there. But I don't know. So all right. So when is your next episode? I should actually ask.
The next one, I think, so today we are we have published today Dr. Anne Katona Lynn,
Okay.
and she is talking about the situation of a woman at
Right.
work in a male dominated industry where female are just not elevated, not respected, not valued
Right.
at their true worth, because there is still, in some level of the society, there is still this inequality, this unbalance, this accepted stigma that a
Right.
woman would be less than a man. And that is truly wrong. We are all amazing in our own rights. We are not the same, which is very good. But trying to find who is more, who is less, that is a fallacy. We are all amazing in our own rights. We are all mighty and all powerful in our own rights. We come from different perspectives. We have brains that work differently. We are all amazing. And that is right.
Right.
Yeah.
That is definitely right. I mean, we were all amazing. We all just gotta unlock it,
Mm-hmm.
but don't open it up. Don't. You just
So,
gotta unlock it.
mm-hmm.
So, and because I said it was only gonna be about 30, 35 minutes, and we reached that peak. I'm glad you came on and shared your story with me. I don't have I be damned today. I be damned is normally when we talk about a bad dating story that's funny, but I don't have one because, of course, you know it because I had to contact you last night. I was sick last week.
Yeah, you
So
were.
thank you for rescheduling with me from having a stomach virus from throwing up because I ate some bad shrimp.
Oh God,
Um,
that can be so
yeah,
bad. I'm sorry
and
for
I
you.
was yeah, and I was throwing up. So I definitely want to thank you for that. And I'm trying to pull right now. I'm trying to pull your stuff up so if anybody wanted to follow you, um, I don't know why it's taking so long, but
One of the
I
easiest
I
thing to
actually have it.
link to is rtrw.media, like Real Talk Real Women dot media, rtrw.media, because this is where it's a hub.
RTR
W dot media
you
instead of
dot media.
exactly simple. I can write it. I think
I got it. I think that's it
yeah,
right there.
you got it
Correct.
exactly. Exactly.
So
Absolutely
I just put it in there, and everything else is all your other platforms can be found by just using your name. Correct.
simple, super simple.
Super
Yay!
simple. Yeah. I got
That's
people in the comments fighting me about McDonald's. It wasn't McDonald's. It was shrimp. And that's my word. I'm sticking to it. I threw up off from shrimp, and that's how it is. McDonald's have never did me wrong in my life, especially since they one of our sponsors now. They will never say anything bad about McDonald's. But definitely, you're always welcome back, Miss Gemma, again, and I definitely will be checking you out. RTRW.media. Um, so if anybody wanted to check her out, that's what you look at to find her analysis from the women that come on in and talk about their stories as well.
thank you so much for having me. It's an honor. Thank you again.
All right. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. And I know last week I was sick. The prior time you were driving to Phoenix or wherever you were going, I told you were driving to Phoenix or LA?
Yeah, exactly. From LA to Phoenix. This is where I moved 6 weeks ago. It's like okay, yeah, that's true.
Okay. So now you settled now.
Absolutely, Tanisha. I
I
feel
don't know what
happy.
they're talking about. Listen,
Yeah,
we'll never
and
disrespect McDonald's. McDonald's is one of our sponsors, so we'll never disrespect McDonald's. So we're all right. So next week I forgot his name, but I have to look. Oh, Dr. Ed next week, Wednesday, 8 o'clock, Dr. Ed. We're talking about controlling your emotions next week with Dr. Ed at 8 p.m. So
fantastic.
definitely thank you, Ms. Gemma, for coming on, founder and host of Real Talk Real Women Show. Thank you. And I'll see you guys next week with a new I'll Be Damned next week.
Wonderful. Looking forward to that. Thank you so much, Rod. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Good night, everybody.